Alright guys, we're over here at Austin's. We just got done doing a fuel pump because last week we didn't get it done. You can see in Marty's video. Okay, but we got fuel line to hook it up now. Got the old one out, the shitty lawnmower fuel pump. I show them the new one. And we still got the new one. We got the new one in here now. New mechanical pump. You see a nice metal line coming up to here. Now we actually have fuel pressure. That thing wouldn't go past 3 with the old one. Now we're up to 7, 6, 7.
We put the fuel filter under the frame.
Now we and I had to adjust the flow level. What do you think, Oz? Just by idling and revving a little bit, what do you think she runs better now?
Oh hell yeah. Yeah. I still got a bad feeling it's gonna bog when we go to launch it. We're gonna go down here the road and do a test hit and see if I can launch it. Look how much PSI. Bounces between 6 and 7.
Yeah.
It was at 3 barely.
So we're gonna go down the road and I don't know if you can hear because of the noise, but we're gonna go down the road and do a test hit and see how she runs and can actually launch it. Okay guys, doing the first oil change on the Electra after the initial break-in and a short test drive. The oil's kind of black just from cleaning off all that assembly lube. So we're just waiting for it to drain down now. That break-in oil is pretty thick, so it's going to take a while. And after that's done draining, I'll get a picture or a short video of how dark the oil actually was. Here's the oil I took out. This isn't actually out of the oil I took out. This is from the filter I cut open about halfway through the break-in process because we were having a little bit of oil pressure problems, so we were afraid there was going to be some metal in the filter. But as you can see, it's dark, but most of that is assembly lube. It's settled in the bottom, but the rest of the oil is all right. That grit you see there on the right, that's just dirt from this pan sitting open, dust in the air, settling in the oil. But it was clean whenever I took it out. So getting the new oil in now and fire this thing up. All right, been about 2 weeks since I fired this thing up, so let's see how she does. Come on. .45 PSI. Would like to see 50 there. It's going up above 50. Idling. Cold idle at 35. Some nice lope to it. This motor's loosened up since I broke it in. Before it was had a lot less lope to it, and now it's definitely lopey. Though I still got a pretty big exhaust leak on the right side, either from the head pipe or the manifold gasket. But I don't know, maybe we'll take it out for a cruise tomorrow. Nothing particularly going on, but this thing needs to get some mileage before I consider taking it anywhere with some distance. We got the green halos working. That high beam on the left side is kind of fucky. Connection's not too good on it. I think it's the actual halo itself, but nothing you can do about it. Motor's got a little rock to it. Either cam or just probably cam causing that. Fuck it. She runs good. I do have a 3000 stall in this thing, and I don't really like it. Not 3000, what am I talking about? It's a 23 to 27, and it feels like it's a 27. And I don't really like it too much. I thought it'd be a little lower than what it is. I thought it'd be closer to 23. And so you gotta rev the piss out of this thing to get it moving. But only way to do that is to take it off and get a Hughes 2000 or put the factory one back in, drop the tranny. So I'll live with it for now and then look at another one later. Alright guys, it's Easter Sunday and I figured why not take the old Buick to church. Running pretty good. Had a little bit of starting problem. Not sure if I was pumping too much fuel or not enough, but had to hook the jump pack up for a second, letting the battery charge. All right.
Get a video of the wagon with the damn.
I'll get over there. All right, we're at we're at Marty's house.
Oh, whose house?
Fuck you.
Marty's house.
And me too.
Had a little oil pressure problem driving it over here, but it was that stupid valve again that we had problems with before.
Buick says it all right there.
So he's over here changing
No oil pressure.
That's always been my theory. Dude.
He's over here changing the fuel pump. That thing took a shit.
Foolish pump.
And yeah, that video, the first half of this video at Austin's was on Friday, and the Lincoln video was on Saturday, and today is Easter Sunday.
And station wagons make excellent workbenches.
Yeah, there you go. You got everything.
That's from Mike Finnegan and Dave Farber.
And here's the wagon's current shape. Just went through a war. Oh yeah, there you go. 323, 322, 23.
Wednesday morning.
Well, get the best part. Don't even tell people what it hit. See if they can figure it out.
Yeah.
It's an animal.
What's got fur that you hit with cars?
It plowed in me.
Well, did you write on this side too? No, you didn't.
No, I never got a picture of it or video.
That never happened.
Yeah, sure.
Well, you saw what it looked like and what it looks like now.
So this definitely, that was a big deer for it to damage both sides, but not hit the middle.
This side was worse than that side. Now it doesn't even look that bad.
I tagged a Chevy Silver.
Hey, it looks a lot worse. But yeah, he hit the back of a Silverado. Like, what, a week after you hit the deer?
It was March 31st. This happened March 22nd
So, yeah,
on the driver's side.
So yeah,
I'm
like
having a bad month.
well, now we're in April, so.
You make that better, who knows?
And then this pile of shit breaks 2 days in a row.
Yep.
Well, three times in 2 weeks.
No.
No, it was the training line and the training line and the sway bar link.
The sway bar link's been broken.
Then it was the fuel pump,
Foolish pump.
and then it was the other thing just before that. Remember I said things come in threes?
Fuel lines. No, it was the fuel lines, the tranny line, and fuel pump. See, it's going from fuel issues. You fix that, and it's like, I'll fuck up this way. You fix that, it's like, fuck you, I'm going back to fuel. But the original problem I had was the car was catching on fire under the dash. So who knows? Maybe the car was burned to the ground, and I can collect an insurance
This
check.
thing just wants to fucking catch on fire.
It's worth 12 grand.
That's what the insurance company says. They said
Yeah.
they give me 12 grand.
That
It's
was
not like
15,000.
it's not like I'm trying to get the check. This car's trying to write its own check. This thing's a box of shit. Don't buy this thing.
Yeah. You didn't do that sway bar link yet, did you?
Yeah, you can see it.
Running first.
That's been broken. I guarantee that's been broken since I put it on 4 years ago.
I think you can see right down there. The bushing's fucked up in there.
Urethane bushings and they're rock hard.
Yeah, the red urethane bushing broke like a crack rock, like breaking a chunk of crack with a razor blade. That's how it's broken. As my neighbor walks by to hear that conversation.
Yep. So that's what we're getting in today. We might go out for a drive later.
Yeah, right to the bar.
But it's Easter Sunday. I got work tomorrow, so.
It's Easter Sunday and there's a bar right up the street. Maybe this car will make it that far.
Keister. It's Keister Sunday. Because we're getting our ass handed to us in a basket.
Alright guys, and we're back. Did end up taking it for a short cruise of the street. And dropped Marty off, came back home. Still got a little bit of a problem. I pulled in here, well actually first I was driving home and I was dropping Marty off and the headlight shut off in his driveway. But then immediately turned back on. Then I was driving home and the headlight shut off again while I'm in the middle of this road. So I pulled off, hit the brakes. As soon as I hit the nose dipped and I hit the brakes, headlights came back on. Hit the gas, nose picked up, headlights shut off. Hit the brakes again, came back on, and they stayed on. So I got some weird, either a ground or a wire or something is loose and not quite making a connection. And it's both headlights, so I think it's a power wire not quite making a connection. So I'll have to, next time that happens, sort that out. But another issue, I got some fluid leakage. I noticed it was some smoke coming up under the hood a little bit. And there was a good amount of fluid on this side. There was a puddle of fluid under the distributor, just a small puddle. And then there was some sprayed up on the radiator hose here that was burning. And I put a paper towel in it and it's orange. So that leads me to believe it's either tranny fluid or power steering fluid. And so far, I haven't been able to come up with a source. The only thing I could possibly find that was leaking from was maybe this hose clamp right here on the power steering line and it's spraying, but that kind of doesn't explain why it was all the way over there. It's not fuel, it's not oil, so far that I can tell. It's not spraying up under the belt, so I don't think it's the front main seal, which thank God, because I had so many fucking problems with that. But I have to check these hose fittings here, and I don't know, maybe look at the pull this radiator cover off and look into the radiator. But it wasn't a crazy bad leak. It was just enough to kind of mist everything, mist the hose and mist that area. So that'll have to get taken a look at, but that's kind of the process of whenever you take something completely apart for a while and then put it back together, you find loose things, leaking things, and stuff that doesn't quite work right. So yeah, and I did start the car and look under here and I couldn't find any drips or anything spraying out, so it's probably one of those only happens under driving conditions type deals. But that's it for the Electra for this week. Marty's off week is starting on Monday, so maybe we can get a little more work looking into this, figuring out some electrical gremlins. And that'll be all for this video.